In August of 1978, several grandchildren living in Minerva, Ohio, would encounter a terrifying and strange cryptid. As the children were playing outside, they suddenly spotted a hideous, hairy monster in a gravel pit. The children ran in the house and told their grandparents, Evelyn and Hal Clayton, as well as their friends. The adults rushed outside and saw what the hysterical children had seen. A large hominoid, estimated around 300 pounds and covered in dark hair, was sitting in the gravel pit and going through the trash. The parents quickly ran away and fled their property that day. However, this would not be the last time the Claytons would see the beast, a creature that became to be known as the Grassman. The Grassman is said to be very similar in appearance to the North American sasquatch or Bigfoot. There are some who believe it is a subspecies of Bigfoot. Sometimes called the Minerva Monster, the creature is described as being 5 to 10 feet tall, 300 to 1,000 pounds in weight, and having a foul odor and bright orange eyes. Despite its name, the beast is not actually green, but covered in long black hair. The name Grassman comes from the large dents it makes out in the grass field and its diet, which allegedly consists mainly of tall grass. The Claytons would see the Grassman again after the initial encounter. Perhaps most shockingly, they would see it many times. One night, the Grassman was seen peeping at them through their kitchen window. A terrified Hal Clayton ran and grabbed his gun, but the monster was gone before he returned. Police would investigate the area where the beast was seen, and they would find footprints in the mud. In addition, a foul smell still hung in the air. Later one night, the Claytons would see the Grassman on a hill near the strip mine. About a month later, during the daytime, the Claytons were looking out at some hilltop, and they would see something truly astonishing. There were 2 creatures standing on the hill. It's reported that up to 5 beasts have been seen walking together at one time. After the continued sightings, the Claytons finally made a surprising connection. Just a few days before the initial sighting, their dog, a German Shepherd, was found dead with its neck broken. While the Clayton sightings were the most documented, they were not the only ones. Native Americans residing in the area have told stories of a hairy, bipedal creature for centuries, known as the Wild Man of the Woods. Native Americans would leave food out for them in order to avoid being attacked. Unlike other hominoids, the Grassman is said to be very aggressive and will attack even if not provoked. Still, Native Americans who have dealt with the beast say it is capable of peace. The Grassmen are said to be very strong and will leave a terrible odor days after they have left the spot. Some say they growl or bark when trying to communicate. Both babies and mothers have been spotted, as well as nests where they sleep. Both feces and hair samples from the beast have been obtained and were even tested at Ohio State University. However, the results of the test were inconclusive. On the initial sighting, it's important to point out that other adults that night were at the Claytons and saw the creature. They too would back the Claytons. As word spread, people flocked to the Claytons' property. It's reported hundreds of cars came to the home in order to possibly catch a glimpse of the beast. During this time, the Claytons were trying to avoid the spotlight and avoided as much media attention and questions as possible. There have been many other undocumented sightings that keeps many believing that this cryptid does exist. This raises the question, what exactly is the Grassman? There are several theories as to what it is. The first theory, and probably most popular, is that Grassman is simply Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Individuals who believe this point out their appearance is very similar, as well as physical characteristics such as facial structure, fur color, and the foul odor. While Bigfoot is not usually associated with violent behavior, there are reports that they can be. Skeptics of this theory, though, will point out that Bigfoot doesn't have orange eyes, and Grassman sightings typically report the beast as 6 to 7 feet tall. Bigfoot is usually reported to be much larger. A second theory says that this was all some sort of prank. Could it be the case that someone had tricked the Claytons and others into believing that a beast lurked in the woods? This is a possibility, but there are several factors to consider. One, some of the sightings occurred in broad daylight. Also, some of the other ones are still tough to explain, such as the sightings of multiple creatures and also the glowing orange eyes. In addition, the creature was reported to be 6 to 7 feet tall and weigh around 300 pounds. One other important thing to note is that this event occurred in 1978, and one probably would have to make the gorilla costume themselves. This would be quite difficult, as one would have to acquire multiple furs. One final thought is that if someone was pulling a prank, they would have to probably know that they're putting their life at risk, as someone could shoot them. While a prank seems improbable, if it was just one sighting, it could be a case of mistaken identity. However, multiple witnesses saw the beast on multiple occasions. The final theories consider whether the Grassman is either an alien or possibly interdimensional. This is certainly plausible, with many Bigfoot reports describing the beast simply vanishing in thin air. Others believe Bigfoot is interdimensional because a body has never been found. There have been alien abduction cases as well, where creatures very similar to Bigfoot have been spotted. In a state famous for cryptids like the Loveland Frogman and the Charles Mill Lake Monster, the Ohio Grassman continues to be a favorite in the state of Ohio.